Oh, well, welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. So this is like day 2 of the engine drop from Dan's breaker car. So this is going to be Dan's engine that's going to go into his track car. So our objective for the day is to strip this back down to just a short, well, an engine block, to get all of the ancillaries off. So we're going to start by taking the gearbox off, which will lighten down the weight of this and give us more access, and then we'll start stripping down probably headers, exhaust mount brackets, intake system, and then we'll start getting better access to all of the rest of it, till we can work our way back to a block. And on the way we'll be just observing how this all works and trying to learn more about how this engine actually works, because you've got to put it all back together again, and it's very easy to take it apart, and not so easy to put it back together without making a mistake. So we've got to be organised with how we store the bolts, and documenting it as well on video is quite useful, because you can go back when you're trying to put it back together and look where all the stuff goes. So let's get this gearbox off, and then I'll come back. Okay guys, so old Donkey Nuts over there hasn't got any spline, the correct spline for that bolt there, which is different to all the others. I don't know why, but I'm going to go and get my spline kick so we don't chew up that bolt. We've got the air intake off. We noticed one of these has been threaded, so it's bolted through underneath, which is fine. It's not a problem. So now we've got the air intake system off. You can see the top of the engine a lot better. So you've got the starter motor, AOS, vacuum, doodah, canister, whatever you want to call it. Just having a look in there. Oh, dipstick, oil filler tube, which can be prone to leaking. There's still some standing water on top of this. We're going to blow it all off, suck it all up. And then what have we got here? Which one's this? One's aircon. So that's power steering, I think. That's power steering. So that will come around to these pipes here. So power steering, that's coming off. Aircon, that's coming off. So many pipes. So many pipes. I think that pipe there goes to the AOS. That's wiring loom, which feeds these big old, that's the main wiring loom. So that comes in through there, goes there, and that feeds off all of your sensors that are over here, sensors that are down there. What is that sensor there? Oh, that's a knock sensor. That's our knock sensors. So yeah, these knock sensors, where is the other one? What's that sensor there? Is that a temperature sensor? That one there, I don't know, but those knock sensors. Where's the other knock sensor? Where's the other knock sensor? Because you can get at that. Where's the other knock sensor? It must be parallel. So that's one knock sensor. Why is there only one? There must be another knock sensor. So that sits somewhere. It must be under there. It must be under the alternator. Anyway, let's not get too carried away with that. There must be another knock sensor under there somewhere. Very strange. It would be parallel to this, you'd think. You'd think it would be. Unless I just can't see it. Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the other knock sensor, sorry. So, yeah, I'm just getting a little bit ahead of myself. Oil cooler. So that's obviously an oil pipe. Where did that go to? Where did that oil pipe go to? Where did that go to? We took that, disconnected that. Yeah, I'm gonna start getting lost. Where did that oil pipe go to? It didn't go on there, did it? Could have. No, of course not. What's that? That's coolant. That's coolant. That's coolant. Oh, that might, no, that's probably coolant. That's got to be coolant as well. Coolant for, so the oil thing has a coolant feed. That's, yeah, because you can get intermix there, can't you? So that's the coolant feed for the oil cooler. Oil cooler looks, well, you can't tell, can you? So everything looks okay. Everything looks okay. So we just got to carry on. I'm going to go home and get the spline. We'll carry on stripping back. We'll take all these pipes off now and get all the pipes, all that kind of pipe work off the car. Yeah, but that's all right because it's on a bush. That's fine. So we've undone all these bolts. We managed to get that spline one off without a spline. Don't ask. So old Steptoe and Son here, he's jacking up to take the weight, and we're going to put this on a pallet. So if anyone wants a gearbox for an automatic, contact Dan. She's going to suddenly drop though, isn't she?
Have to take the camera off, John, because I need to
okay.
hold that end
Okay, so you can see we're going to pull out and then on the pallet with that. We could probably both just about lift that.
Nice.
Okay, so there's old Steptoe over there. We got the gearbox off. This is supposed to be the clean day. I've washed my hands about 500 times. Every time you do something, your hands get dirty. But we're not gloving up today. We just clean your hands. So gearbox is off. Gearbox is off. Airbox is off, which was our first kind of little objective, if you like, for the day.
The big job, the heavy, bulky, crappy bit.
Yeah, so what I think I'm going to do is take all the pipes off the fuel line and coolant pipes.
We took the vacuum system off as well. That was an interesting thing about the vacuum system. So we think this, we're going to check, but the manual one might be different. So that's John's switch that was messing around.
Yes.
That's the vacuum tub.
Yeah.
And then there's an additional secondary switch, which has a T-piece, because this part here goes to the gearbox. So that's the part that goes to the gearbox. That's
hold on, where's your drawer from the intake? You've connected that up wrong, haven't you?
No.
Where's your, because that's all sealed. There's got to be a drawer from the intake.
Oh, it goes in there.
Oh, it goes straight into that pipe,
Yeah, which is the bigger pipe.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Off the airbox.
Okay, so that directly creates the vacuum from the airbox,
yes,
so there's no pump
and then that's
involved.
the switch that...
So I wonder, on a manual, do you have two or just one? We figured that on a manual you'd only need one
One
thing,
of them, yeah,
and that
in
would just
theory.
be connected
Because
together,
look, John,
wouldn't it?
they're the same part.
Yeah.
Two switches.
I could have had
So,
that.
yeah, so there's one switch for the resonator flap.
Yeah.
One switch for, what did we say was the coolant?
Some sort of coolant actuator pipe. So,
but they're exactly the same part.
The thing is, it's probably open by default. So
yes.
It probably means that the gearbox, you know, I don't think it's terminal if it's not working, because it's a peripheral kind of system, isn't it? A bit like the resonator flap. It's not terminal if it's not working, but it's not good.
What I'll do is I'll hoover some of this water that's dead laid in there.
Yeah.
Suck it out with George the wet vac.
So we want all of this pipe work off now. So breather pipes, coolant pipes, oil pipes, AOS off. What is that? What is that?
Reservoir for the power steering.
Oh, power steering. Oh, so it has a little bit of fluid in there.
And that's your aircon system and your aircon pipe. So
how
all
does
that
connect?
comes off.
How does that connect in?
Well, the two pipes that you disconnected.
Oh, so it just feeds in coolant so you can top up that way.
Not coolant, power steering.
Power
fluid.
steering.
Yes.
Sorry. And what's that? That's a breather pipe
Yes,
for it.
a breather pipe for
and where does that connect to?
That doesn't connect to it. I can't remember if that connected to anything. I think it
doesn't look like it does.
It's just got a plastic clip in there that holds it in.
So that won't ever come out. But it
two
just
aircon pipes.
So it's not sealed.
And then there are your two power steering pipes.
Yeah.
The fluid in and out.
What's that, Dan? That's bugging me. What is that? What the hell is that?
It's a solenoid for something to do with the fueling system. It's a pressure.
It's not to do with fueling.
Sorry, no, it's an oil. That's your oil pressure switch.
Oil pressure
switch. Yeah. Do you remember you hear about these oil pressure switches? So you know your oil pressure gauge.
Yeah.
And it's got, sometimes they play up.
Right.
It's that bit that fails, the oil pressure switch, and it's very difficult to get to because people say it's difficult to get to.
Oh, is it a release? Is it a release?
It's a feedback, isn't it? Look, it's a two wire system, so it reads your oil pressure.
Oh, okay.
So when your oil pressure gauge fails, or do you know when they go up and down on them? Sometimes they start doing all this.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not the car fluctuating that much in oil pressure when it's idling. It's that it's going 40,
There's
and
a
it's
chance,
not easy to
there's
get
a chance
to.
it's nothing to do with that, but he
is.
might be right.
I am right. Questions on a postcard.
He might be right. Who knows?
I know because I just know where it's located. It's very hard to get to.
He makes it up as he goes along, and once every 10,000 attempts of making stuff up, he gets it right, and he never lets you forget when he gets it right.
What, like, oh John, oh John. Surely a flap not opening would lose you horsepower because it's restricting airflow. It's not to do with airflow.
It does, and don't call me Shirley.
And then there's the other one. What was it? My exhaust is not blowing. It's not blowing, Daniel. John, your exhaust is blowing because every time you come in the corner, it sounds louder than it used to.
You can't get the staff nowadays. That's the problem. You can't get the staff. Look at him. Looks like Steptoe & Son.
What do you mean looks like?
Ancestors. I'm not far behind. Yeah, so we're getting there, guys. We'll move on to stripping down. We'll come back once we've made some progress. Okay, guys, so we're making good progress. So the wiring loom. So undone all the coil packs. What else? Coil packs. All the various
alternators off.
All the various sensors. You work your way around that wiring loom. There's 1,000,001 head shells going to 1,000,001 sockets, and you just disconnect them all.
Let's put something in here, John.
Let's get this wiring loom out.
John,
hold on.
Yeah, get the wiring loom out of the way. Let's get something in there because we are open now.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Right.
And I'm just about to get something out your way that's holding that in, which is your dipstick. There you go.
Right, so we should be able to run this through. So it's just a case of remembering where that main wiring loom kind of goes. Look at this. No chance of putting this thing back together again.
Don't forget auto wiring loom different to manual. This is auto.
Right, there's your main wiring loom. Look how many connections are on it. It reminds me of Christmas time when you get the old Christmas lights out and you've got like 5,000 things and half the light bulbs don't work. So we're getting back now. So now we've got main block, main ancillaries, fuel rails still connected, and I think they're breather pipes for the fuel rails. I don't think
let that glove go fully in there.
Yeah.
I'll put tissue in there.
It's running on gloves. I wonder what you get orange smoke out the back when he starts. Essentially, this glove flies out the exhaust.
Starter motor can come off.
We can get the headers and the brackets off next, and then we'll take the torque box off. I want to have a look at this AOS because the main oil leak was all down here. I can see a little tear in the baffle, but I'm not sure if that would have been causing it. But there was always a gap here. So that's that cam position sensor, I think, that we know we've got to change. That would be an absolute pig to change that.
What's that?
That cam position sensor.
Yeah, crank position sensor's a pain in the bum as well.
Well, that's here, isn't it?
Yeah, but hard to get to when it's in the car and it's all up in the air.
It is. Well, the only thing is that's how can that?
This car's got a new Y cable, John.
That's not in the crank though, is it? That sensor.
This car's a
new. You sure that's a crank position sensor?
Yeah. Goes into the gearbox bellet housing.
Oh, okay. That would be a nightmare. How would you get something on that?
That's a brand new
coming in under here, trying to get an Allen key on that. A short Allen key. You have to get that.
Look at that, John. That's brand new Y cable, because these are common to fail on them.
Okay. You've got a 10mm socket?
On the floor there.
So what I want to do... Where?
That is 100% keepings.
I want to just take this off. I want to just see, because these AOSs are prone to causing the odd problems, you know, and they need to be done. Dan, film me.
Okay.
Film me.
What are you undoing the cam position sensor? Oh, the AOS.
Oh.
Yeah, try the bigger one and get a 10 on it. So there, that's bellows failed.
It's only 2 bolts.
Yeah, just these 2, and then it's done on that bellow.
So if you had to replace that, you'd have to... I can see why that's...
So Scott did this engine in on your car. So on your C4S, so he came up from this area, but that's even harder on a .2 than it is on a .1. That's why most garages are engine out on this, because of
drop it
being able to
slightly.
undo here, get to all these bolts, and then lift this up enough to get it out. Imagine it all in the car. That's almost, look, you can see where the breathers are. This is the top of the engine bay. Literally, they're touching that. So, and then you imagine all this is filled up with stuff.
It's this bolt here.
Look at the focus on that face.
That would be, that's
Yeah, imagine
tight.
that. Take the extension off.
Well, hold on.
You've got too much leverage on there. You're not direct on it.
That bolt would be a nightmare. That feels like it's
You're
going
go- yeah, you need to take that extension off and just go direct. You'll get a better torque on it.
So you'd be coming in this way and trying to get that.
Yeah, you'd be coming up underneath the car. So where you're stood, you're not allowed there. You're underneath. Your arms are up here.
Yeah, no wonder it'd be a nightmare to fit this bellow properly. Because you'd be doing this blind.
This is interesting because these AOS units are not mega money. They're like £150 aftermarket ones for £60, £70. But a motorsport one, John, is £800.
What's the difference?
Exactly.
What is the difference?
But well, other than 8 times the price, I'd like to know.
It goes about 750 quid.
Yeah.
Or 650.
But I'd like to know what the technology is in the motorsport one as to why they're so expensive. Because
They get this and they paint it silver or red.
yeah. I would be tempted. I'm
sticker on
very
it.
tempted to get one, but I need to read more about why they're so expensive, because I'm guessing the problem with these failing is the intermix and that bellow.
This looks like a cheap part.
That looks like it was replaced though. It doesn't look like an old.
So how does it
part.
separate
That's
oil
not
and-
28 years old, John.
So is it oil in the air vapour that's
Yeah,
separating?
oil and air. Yes.
Yeah, because you've got that smeggy stuff in there.
Yes, so it's air oil. And your car, when it was failing, it was vaporising oil. This car, it was leaking out of the bellows, which is common for our cars. And when they go big time, they intermix. They intermix coolant in that chamber with oil in the other chamber.
Coolant?
Yeah,
How has it got coolant?
because it'll put oil into, it'll put air into where there's oil and oil where there's air. They can intermix.
Yeah, but not coolant.
Yes, coolant, because you haven't got any other fluid in the car. You've only got oil and coolant, the 2 fluids in the car.
It's
Take it off
separating-
and you'll see.
Hold on, so that you're saying...
Take it off and you'll see. You will see what I see what you see. What did you undo off of there, John?
Isn't that a breather pipe?
No, look at it.
Coolant.
Coolant. And what's that? Oil.
Oh, I don't know.
Have a look. There's 2 chambers in there.
Oh, there is coolant in here, yeah.
Yeah, look.
Okay, yeah.
And when they fail, see the white cream in there? Mayo. That's called intermix. Mayo, come on, me wanna go home. Come on, John.
Oh, there's another one.
Oh, is there? Oh, you imagine getting to that.
Oh, I think it's just a bung.
Oh, yeah, it's just twist and shout. There you go.
That would be
There you go, it's all coolant pouring out.
That would be such an horrible job, that would. I mean, it looks so easy when you've got access to the engine. You imagine you need to be a contortionist.
Well, that's why Scotty said...
Look at the difference.
After Scotty did your one, he said he'd never do another.
The bottom bolt all clean, the top one all corroded.
Yeah.
And the top one was a pig to undo, and the bottom one just came
And
out.
it's that bellow there that was leaking on this, where the oil comes up through there. So that oil's coming up out there, and that bellow's stopping it from leaking here, and it wasn't. It was leaking all down there.
That goes straight into the cam chamber, yeah?
Yes.
So that's just oil and vacuum.
Yeah. And then the coolant, which cools
Why's
it,
that all
is
smeggy?
coming around there, and the air is coming out of that breather.
Okay, I still don't
But
get
if they fail, they intermix.
I still don't
And you
get
get mayonnaise in there, which you look in there,
Full of mayo, yeah.
full of mayo.
Sponsored by Hellman's.
So that is what we call scrap.
Where's the, well, yeah, so this we're not worried about.
That's
then.
Binsville, yeah, because
Bin.
it's failed.
Okay.
And that was that.
Well, I might as well just keep it just for reference.
Yeah, keep it for reference. Wax is Ed. It's Wax is Ed on the front as well, because your mic's covering the D. Yeah. So it's Wax is Ed on the back and Wax is Ed. Because the reason why it's Wax is Ed, because that's what John does. He waxes his head. Hey! I'm here all day.
Give me that. Give me that thing. I got 12 hours of this shit. Right, so brackets and headers off now, and then we're getting to the interesting stuff. Okay, so we've just done fuel rails, alternator, starter, motor. The injectors are shot really. Well, they probably work, but they're all corroded up. So we're getting there. Most of the stuff's off the engine. We might as well leave the knock sensors on there. So Dan is now working on water pump and aircon, which you can see is just going to bolt off. You know, you keep doing bolts till there's nothing left. We're nearly there. I can't remember how you get this thing off. I can't.
Through the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
With the starter motor out the way.
Yeah.
Look, if you spin it round,
That's what Scott said. Yeah.
Torques from behind.
That's
it,
right.
Then you turn it.
That's the trick for getting that off. Then.
Then we can spin it round and get all the pulleys off the front. Just leave the main crank.
Oh, you've taken the pulley off.
Main crank pulley staying on. Water pump will be replaced, so that can come off, and these pulleys will be gone, and the idlers will be replaced as well.
Oh, you're going to replace those, are you?
Yeah, I'll put new ones on.
Okay.
Just because when in Rome,
okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
they're not expensive, and why would you not?
Yeah, so we're really we're getting close to what we wanted to get done today, and we're on target, and you know we were always going to get it done, I think, because there's nothing that could go wrong that would stop you in your tracks, is there, doing this?
Not really.
I tell you there is something, and I'll tell you what it is. Snap bolt.
Yeah.
Snap bolt will
well,
stop you in your
tracks. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah, we haven't snapped any bolts, which is good.
Yet.
No,
Yet.
The only one. So
We're going to do this one now.
That bolt that goes in there was spline. We managed to get it off with a torque because we left it for half an hour with penetrating fluid on it. It didn't need a lot of torque, so we bodged that without a spline. That's the only tool we didn't have. But I've got one at home, but I couldn't be bothered to go and get it. So everything's working. We vacuumed out all the gunk. So now we're a little bit conscious about the cylinders being exposed. So what we're going to do is get these brackets, these intake bracket adapter, whatever they are, and I'm really interested.
Oh, we could have our first snap bolter.
I'm really interested in the size. See down there into the cylinder, you can see the valve stems. You can see the bottoms of the valve, or you can't, I can. I'm really interested in the size of the bore, and I think I can tell already that you can't get any additional. I think this is a known thing. You can't get any additional power out of this because you're limited by, no matter what you do with airflow, you're limited by the amount of air that goes in that final segment and this part here.
That's where porting and polishing comes in.
So if this hole was bigger, but it was throttled here by this being restricted, then you could upgrade this and get more air going into the engine, but I don't think you can.
It's not air volume. What you can create is the smoothness of the air.
Smooth.
And
no need to fool. He's a smooth operator.
Are you getting the maximum these can take? If you're not getting the maximum these can take, then you can improve other things to get the max.
Dan's going to put little Timu fans in here, in each of these little plastic fans running off electric. Like
this
trying
will be
to
our
push
first
more
snap
air.
boat potentially. Although this is on the starter mode, or AC, so it doesn't matter necessarily. I can get it in a vice.
It's going to do nothing. Just leave it for half an hour with the penetrating fluid. Come back to it. So this off. Then we're going to bung these up so we can't get anything into the block, and then we're safe. And we keep going. And we're going to leave the headers on actually because they're not corroded on. They're sealed. Equal length headers. So Dan's going to keep those because they're good headers. And there's no point taking them off.
No.
So we're actually all the oil leak things that we were really worried about.
We're all
the AOS,
superficial.
Yeah, so the AOS one we're not worried about.
No, we know about that.
That sensor, you've got to remember that needs to be done.
Rocker covers we're going to take off so we can get to them. So
was this the spark? Was this the coil?
Yeah, spark tube.
No, it was yours. It was
Coil,
bank.
that's rotten.
Hold on, which one side's bank one? That's bank one, isn't it? Which side's bank one? That side.
They're all getting done anyway.
Oh no,
I'm doing all new tubes.
It was this one.
This one that was leaking. Yeah.
So okay. So are you replacing those?
All new tubes. Yeah.
Those coil packs.
Coil packs, tubes, spark plugs, everything all get replaced.
What do you mean tubes?
Spark plug tubes.
All right.
The plastic tube that goes in there.
Oh, okay. That's on the coil.
Because that's what's leaking.
That's on the coil pack, isn't it?
No. So coil pack comes out, spark plug comes out.
It's a bit
the tube
different.
is inside there.
Okay.
God, no wonder that
So
was
once you start getting back to this, it starts to feel a bit more like you can get your head around it. Before then, it's just you can't get your head around it. Well, I can't. It's just too much, too many things.
I actually think it's quite simple.
No, it's not.
Compared to a modern engine, this is really simple. Modern engines are really complex.
The thing is, when you've got this engine in front of you, you've got to think: is it an oil line? Is it a fuel line? Is it a vacuum line? Is it a coolant line? Is it a power steering line? Is it an aircon line? Is it, have I done electrical
Is it a
wiring
phone
loom?
line?
And then when you've got all those 6 or 7 different systems, all needing cables and wiring and all
let me
having to
go
go
my
into correct places, and then you've got all the nuts and bolts for everything, all the brackets for everything,
Amelia?
you start losing track of
Come here a minute, someone.
what's what. And I just, yeah, the saving grace is
you
when we
get my
drop the
blue
engine
asthma
out
pump
of
and pink asthma pump,
DTC, the engine will be
there, where you're
complete.
looking by the
So
blue
we'll have
bag
a
in that
reference
area.
point, an engine sitting
a
there
blue
that's
pump
knackered,
and a pink
broken. So when
Pink
we
and
build
white. I
back,
can see the pink and white
if we're
from
like,
here.
how does this bit work? Well, we go over here, look at the engine we've taken
Oh,
out, and we can
Jody.
get a reference point, which is like gold dust. That's like gold dust. Otherwise, you're looking at manuals and trying to figure it all out, or looking at old videos like this.
That's the pump.
So yeah, we're getting there, guys.
And some
It's all good
water,
fun. It's
please.
enjoyable, kind of.
Check
Okay.
up, man.
So, here working on power steering pump. We haven't broken the seals off these, but I've just done. Oh,
You just
I
loosened them.
thought I'd done the nuts. Oh,
No, you still got one. You did this last time, then went to the heads off and we were
Damn it.
tapping.
Damn it.
And it wasn't coming off. And everyone, and John was like, I was like, have you done all the bolts, John? He went, yeah, I've done them all.
Oh,
I
here
was
we
like,
go.
John, there's one bolt holding it on still.
You
He's like,
telling me you've never not undone a bolt when you're going to take something off?
no,
Yeah.
I'm pro-fesh. It's always you, John. It is you who does this to me. I might have actually just done that now and actually missed the bolt myself.
Right. There we go. So we just want to be careful.
This all comes.
So there's no additional size. You see what I mean? Dan's talking about polishing in there. That's going to make absolutely F all difference.
No, it does.
It does. I get an extra 0.6.
Race cars, mate, race cars,
0
race
to
cars.
3 point coefficient
Look
horsepower.
how that's textured in there, John. It's textured.
Needs to learn how to drive first.
We need to bag up these. They're pouring out power steering fluid.
And then this one. Oh, they've got gaskets on them.
John, I'm getting power steering fluid pouring out
They're
there. And I'm
metal
scared
gaskets,
it's going to
are
go
they?
in there.
Don't be scared, Dan. Don't be scared.
I'm
If
very
the power
scared.
steering and cylinder is good, it's like turbocharge.
Give me that little half cable tie thing.
You want half cable tie? I'll give you half cable tie. It's already snapped, but never mind.
I can renew it.
Okay. So, yeah, so I was just interested. So there's basically nothing you can do here because that's...
There is something you can do.
Well, okay,
every race car in the world, every race motorbike, see that's textured.
Yeah,
They flatten, polish that. It's called porting and polishing.
Yeah,
Porting
maybe.
makes enlarging.
All clap going cylinder.
No, you can't do it with the cylinders on. We'd have to decide to take the heads off.
Yeah, so
but we won't be doing
you
that.
ain't got to be doing this. There's
No.
nothing you can do. There's nothing normal people can do here. But I was hoping that would be a bigger bore, and then you can like, if they then restrict the airflow in, they've got in future, and they can let people mess around with it, and then you put a bigger intake system in.
They don't want you messing around
If it's
with it.
bottlenecked here, there's nothing else you can do. So all that intake thing you're talking about, Dan, with like a bigger intake box, like get this massive, great, gigantic Blackwall Tunnel sized hole here and a cone.
Right, let me educate you one more time.
You interrupted me in my flow.
What you have here is your air in. What you have here is flow.
Flow.
When your car wasn't flowing properly,
He doesn't understand.
you
It
were
was
20
nothing-
horsepower down.
It was
now
nothing
your car,
to do with airflow.
Now your car
It's doing
drives like
resonance. You still
Nigel
don't get it.
Mansell's own race car because
But
you're
it's because of
flow.
resonance, not flow. Resonance.
I bet you it's flow.
It's timing of the pulse.
Mate, a closed flap is
Where is
restricting
this?
flow.
No, it's not.
Yes,
because
it
look,
is. We're
he
gonna
doesn't
argue about this.
He doesn't
Listen,
understand.
I'm
right?
taking you to Brands
Air
Hatch.
in through here, in through there, into cylinders. Okay, that's your
Yes.
airflow. This thing here, when it's closed, gives you a shorter length. If you think of that length there, that's your length
No, no,
for
no, no,
resonance.
John.
When it's open, it alters the length. It doesn't give you any additional airflow.
Listen,
It's
that's your
resonance.
volume of air. That is reducing your flow across the back of that and the back to
resonance.
that. It's resonance between
Thank you.
2,500 and 5,000.
Thank you.
Then,
Thank you.
then resonance needs to be deleted from the equation.
No, no.
And maximum flow.
No, it's not flow. It alters the resonance. So in other words, it's got two different resonance points. It's not
Your
a perfect
science.
system
You
because
done.
I think the 993 had a variable length intake flap, so it could match and give you resonance that was a bit perfectly more mapped. Whereas that gives you 3 points of resonance. So it gives you the low idle resonance with it open. Then it decides that somewhere in that 2 to 5,000 it's better closed. And then when you come off Vario Cam and you get that little gush of surge, it says, right, I'm going to give you high rev resonance.
Right. I'm going to put this in simple terms. Flow is speed of air travelling. Yeah? Make all this inside like 80 grit sandpaper, put an air pipe in one end and an air pipe the other.
You want to put grit paper in your index
measure
system.
the speed of what the air goes through. It'll be 80 miles an hour. Then polish it.
P600 grit per second.
Then polish it, enlarge it, smooth it, measure the airspeed then, maybe 120 miles an hour.
But you won't have a working resonant system. That's in there for a reason. Porsche
well, that
Porsche
we still can't answer.
Porsche intelligent, Danny dumb. Porsche intelligent, Danny dumb.
Porsche intelligent, why? Is it for performance?
They just are.
Is it for CO2 emissions? Is it for fuel economy? No. This question we cannot answer till the rolling road test when Danny goes, right, what horsepower we got? You got 285, Danny. John, pull the pipe. What horsepower we got now, Johnny? 287! Danny wins!
Danny will never win. Yeah, he doesn't understand. He keeps saying airflow. It's got nothing to do with airflow. But whatever it is, I think, my personal opinion, and that's not based on really anything much other than having a broken resonator flap, is that you're best off with that stock system, stock airbox, and your vacuum resonator system working. And I don't know. There is a mod. What's it called? IDB or something? There's
plenum.
There's an intake plenum for that's got a wider connection to the throttle body.
Flow again.
But it's not, even if it's bigger, the throttle body's going to restrict you. So unless you get a bigger throttle body, but either way, you're then restricted on the intake plenums, and then you're restricted on these brackets, and then you're restricted there. So
that's why I think it's modify all or none.
Jesus, what the hell? I'm tripping over that.
This is why
I just don't think there's any gains here. But Dan can go through all the pain of spending loads of money and wasting his time.
It's not wasting.
And he will not. I'm going to be 305 horsepower. He'll be 292 with £5,000 intake system wrapped in gold. Anyway, we're just getting carried away. So we're doing all right. Let's carry on stripping down. That's the last thing to come off, and we're pretty much as far as we need to go then. Might as well take those. Well, we might as well. Is there any benefit of taking those coolant pipes off, just so you can access the block a bit better?
We've got to take the coolant pipes off because, again, everything's got to be checked and renewed on this car.
Okay.
But also, when we turn the block over, we've got to take the sump off.
Messy job, he'd do that. Okay, guys, so we probably jumped forward a bit in the video because we've just got to keep going. But we've basically now got the engine stripped to the, without breaking the engine apart. As far as we wanted to achieve today, we've got all of the ancillaries, as Dan calls them. We're not sure what that is. We'll find out. We're finding out what that is. Put in the comments, but you probably have already found out by the time this goes out. You can see here, on the other side, we've got the torque converter and wheel off, all the way to the RMS and IMS. All of the intake system off. All of the whatever was there, I can't remember what was over there. Oh, the oil cooler was there. Everything off, the oil filler, the water pump system all the way back to the gaskets on the block. That was a bit of a pain to get off. The main water pump's there, but I think it's driving that, which is driving something. The thermostat's in there. Just noticed cam covers, that one's been sealed, that one was cracked, but it doesn't look like it's been leaking from there. But those you want sealed, but that's just something for Dan to think about. There's so many things for Dan to think about. He's not happy with his headers because they are a bit Mickey Mouse.
They look a bit teamy, don't they?
They're a bit Mickey. Yeah, a bit Mickey. So he wants
equal length, but I'm just not feeling the motorsport technology.
And he's found about 20 pairs of Wellington boots and bolts and nuts in the oil sump. So
it's the silicone. They put too much silicone on these sumps when they put them in, and we just pulled that much.
Yeah, there's a lot of silicone in there.
Big lumps of silicone out of the sump.
But I suppose it was sealed up properly.
Yeah, it was sealed up, but the problem is it gets into that pickup. Yeah, but it gets into that. No, because it was leaking, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it gets into that oil pickup, and it sucks it into the engine.
It can tolerate that.
A little bit.
that filter will block that. Yeah, but yeah, it's not ideal. So just be careful when you're siliconing it back. But that's for Dan to worry about. And generally, some things we were looking at how these work. So these are the tubes for the spark plugs. So they're sealed on either side. So they seal off the spark plugs so from the cam section, so that you're not all the oil that's in there doesn't get onto the spark plug. And if oil's coming out of there, then probably the seal on these isn't good. So maybe because they're just cheap plastic parts, Dan will replace all 6 and put in fresh ones, and probably replace all the coil packs and obviously spark plugs as well. So that's all going to be done. But yeah, mission complete. And now for the next couple of months, really, Dan has got to come up with a parts list of all of the things he's going to replace, which is going to be a lot of the ancillaries, not all of it, but a lot of the ancillaries.
Yeah, either replace or restore, renew.
Yeah, and clean up the block a bit more and start building what you can back, and then eventually you'll get to the point where you think you're close, and then we'll drop engine from DTC, have that over there as a reference point for when we're building this one back, doing wiring harnesses and all that, and you've got to try and remember where everything goes. You've got a reference point. So yeah, lots good fun. Really greasy, lots of work, couple of sort of broken bolts that
Broken hearts.
Yeah, rusted, corroded bolts. So any bolt, you know, we're going to try and replace most of these bolts because you want to future-proof what you've done as well. Ideally, although really, you know, how long's this engine going to take? Motors, you know, track life, is it going to take 5 years and you'll be doing all this again? I don't know. We did notice the mount for the water pump, that should be all metal there, and bolts through, is cracked. So it was kind of bolted on the underside, but we think that's not going to cause a problem because it can still seal. So
And it wasn't leaking before.
No, it wasn't. No, that was all a bit Mickey. A lot of his coolant pipes were on their way, you know, perishing. So it's a good chance to renew all the coolant pipe systems and clean out all the breather pipes and everything. It's going to be a lot of work. I can see why this stuff, you know, this is one engine. I was saying to Dan, like, you imagine if you had to do this all the time, and you think of every single Porsche. The 996 has got the 3.4, then the 3.6 later ones, the 2.7, like the Boxster 2.5s, 2.7s, 3.2Ss. So every genre of Porsche, and then you've got like the Porsche 996 turbos, and then you different engine. Then you've got the GT3s with the Metzger engine. So just with your 996s alone, the variations in the engines and understanding them would be really difficult to get your head round. And I think what we're doing here is we're learning loads, like, because we don't really know what we're doing. He knows more than me. You know, this is all kind of not completely new because we've done it once before, but it was good because, you know, it just kind of reinforces you get to know more the more times you do it. And I think we're doing all the easy stuff at the moment, and when you put this all back together again, you've got to be so careful with every job you do because there's so many jobs, so many ancillaries and so many things to replace and renew, and every one of those jobs could go wrong. So you've got to just take your time. So even when he's doing the oil sump, if he puts a deeper one on, puts the baffles in it, you've got to make sure that's done properly. And then you move on to the next job when you're putting the water pump back on. You've got to replace the gaskets. You know, maybe look at all the bolts and stuff and see if they're reusable, clean everything. And this will be a lot of work for Dan now for the next few months, just slowly chipping away at it. And eventually this will be back as a block that's sitting horizontal, fully built, back together again, that we know we can turn over by hand, because we're not playing around with that, so we haven't got to retime it and all of that sort of stuff. So that's the complicated things, or, you know, we haven't broken it open. But yeah, really good fun, and we've accomplished what we needed to accomplish so far. And I hope the videos are all a bit chaotic, but it's yeah, really enjoyed it. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and you can follow Dan on Dan's Timeless Classics, and I'll see you all soon.